jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
What's going on? WCS back on the Boulevard once again. You already know, big shout out to the supporters of the channel. First in the building, Dion Washington, hailing out of Tuscaloosa. You already know, Alabama on deck this morning. Happy Mother's Day to every one of the mothers that are out there. You know, someone loves you. You know what I'm saying? You are appreciated in many ways that you can imagine. It's not just one day to celebrate who you are, but many that we cherish each and every day. We salute y'all. WCS salute y'all. It's not an easy task, you know, with who you are and, you know, frankly, how they trying to phase out your identity as a woman, period. I know they don't have anything to do with Mother's Day, but I just have to put it out there. It's nothing like a natural woman. Nothing like a natural woman, baby. But shout out to Dion Washington in sniper position. Yes, sir. Weren't they, Dion? Were they not posted, Dion? Dion, were they not posted? Were them snipers last night, were they not posted? Jesus, man, bro, was this not another reminder about this battlefield they call boxing, man? Shout out to Tyrese. What's good with it? Yo, what up? What up with it? Of course, it's Mother's Day. I'm not going to be on here long, but I had to come on and talk about the situation that took place, right? Truth be told, it's a lot of truth to deal with the false side of everything, you know, when it comes to honesty and everything. They talk about character. Y'all need to understand this: boxing doesn't have morals and principles. Don't let it hurt your heart. Don't let this sport hurt you. I'm talking about the non-physical energy. If you are disappointed, cool. But if you are feeling, you know, depressed, are you feeling overly angry to the point where you getting a headache from what happened yesterday? What did you expect? What did you expect? They showed you just by placing Rolando Romero in the position to get the title anyway. They pretty much laid the entire hand out for you. It wasn't no play. It wasn't like, oh, you're going to get a chance to play. No, it was game over. Once they held him in that position after being knocked out by Tank, let's even back it up. You know, it's been 1,002 days since Rolando Romero was a part of that controversial decision against Jackson Mariñez back in August 15, 2020. Do you know it's been 1,002 days since that fateful day that he was over there. You remember, in Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut at 135 pounds, and he fought for the WBA interim world light title. You remember that? And in between time, he's fought Avery Sparrow, Anthony Yigit. Okay. Both 7-round stoppages. Both 7-round stoppages now. Okay. But I want you to take a little peek at something. When he fought Gervonta Davis, it was going to be his last fight at 135, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? Because they put this man up there at 140 pounds, coming off a 6-round knockout against a guy who was 40 years old. And he looked every bit of the part. But sometimes the looks isn't what stands out the most in the heat of battle. It's the absolute dog in the fight that gives you everything you was not expecting. You looked at him as being an old guy. Even I did. I said, I have to see what this dude's about. I have to see, can he really throw hands? They say he's tough. You know what I'm saying? I tell you all the time how I was over in Tijuana, as young as I was, watching some of these guys fight. And the battles, how tough it was. And people sleep on Tijuana, but man, you got to be tough to grow up over there on the boxing scene for real. But I'm just saying in general, like when it comes down to Ismael Barroso earning that knockdown early in the fight, I'm saying to myself, hold up. Gervonta stopped this man in 6th round, but Barroso at a higher division, older. You talking about Gervonta 28 years old, Barroso 40 years old. Rolly said he was going to come in there and be patient and take his time. So it's not like he didn't take his time when he fought Tank for the first 4 rounds. But I'm saying, okay, cool. Not to mention, people, my eyes wasn't playing tricks on me when we seen him get knocked down in sparring against Jahan. Right? He got knocked down in sparring. But they always say that it's just sparring and sparring and sparring. Don't make any sense. But when he was knocked down by this dude, I was like, what am I looking at? This man is already down in the fight. And then Barroso continued to pour it on. He was boxing. This was what you call a seasoned gorilla. Barroso, you know how you see them gorillas with all the scars scars on them and stuff like that, man. And they're the OG. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been through it all. That's what I seen in Barroso, man. Like how he wore his life. He looked older than what 40 supposed to look like, but I don't know the travels. I don't know the hours and days that he put in behind the scenes on what type of work he had, what type of manual labor he had outside of boxing. The dude looked like he has been working. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he really worked for what he had in life. And I can respect that. But what I seen play out with Rolly is that either somebody took this dude for a joke and they didn't train and maximize what they were supposed to, or I can factor in that they had the exact wrong game plan in there against this guy. I'm waiting for all those, flash moments where he moves in one direction, stops, pause, move in another direction, stops, pause, scat back, slide to the left, slide to the right, dip with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for all those videos where Rolly Romero's just, acting like he was throwing darts at somebody and stuff like that. I was looking for him to show us like what has improved since Gervonta Davis. Because you ask somebody If you had as a group of people, let's say 5 people. No, we got to do 10 people. We ask a group of 10 people, say, do you believe who has the most power? Gervonta Davis or Ismael Barroso? Who do you think has the most power? They're going to tell you Tank, right? They say, okay. You ask them again, who do you think will win between Tank and Barroso? They'll probably say, okay, Tank. The reason why I'm asking that is it just don't add up when it comes to Rolly. This dude was dropped early in the fight, and then he was losing the fight. You know, I knew. Hold up. Listen to it. Listen to it.
I finished the round like a champion, and I kept going, and I got the victory.
When you went down, what did you learn from the last time that you went down against Tank Davis? You said he made a mistake.
Shout out to Jim Gray, the GOAT, the Hall of Famer, asked the tough questions. Don't play with Mr. Gray. He will ask the tough questions.
Against Tank, went down here tonight. What did you learn when you got up to continue the fight?
Well, I took my time, moved around, and the man's strong, man. So I had to be careful with him.
So many rounds, there was not many punches that you threw. Why?
I mean, sure, you think I want to get caught by one of those? I told you he could crack. I told everybody he could crack. I knew he could crack.
All right, let's take a look here at the knockdown. And I want to ask you, Rolly, from your vantage point on the first knockdown, if it was a push on your end. This is round 3. So this is when you go down. I'm sorry. This is when you go down. Tell us.
Well, pretty much when they showed that knockdown, Rolly was going straight back online. You know, no lateral movement, no pivoting off to the left or right. No slipping underneath. You know, he went straight back with his chin up in the air. Very novice type behavior when you in there with a guy's oldest, Barroso, and you up here giving this man respect until I knew he can crack. Well, you knew Gervonta can crack too, but you gave him no respect. You was pushing forward from the opening bell, sort of, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Sort of, kind of. You was pushing forward. You was pressing him. You knew he possessed that dynamite, but you're trying to say, okay, up at 140, you knew that Barroso can crack. You knew that he can crack. He said he knew Barroso can crack. I'm just wondering where it all came into play, where the toughness in Rolly has went away. Like Rolly was up here talking about how he'll knock somebody out, and he was one of the hardest punchers in boxing. Where did all this go? Because listen, I'm gonna have to put this tag out there, man. Are these fighters being changed when they go in there with Tank? You know what I'm saying? Some of these fighters get stopped by Tank. A lot of these fighters, rather, are they lives being changed? Because I'm not used to hearing this talk from Rolly. Maybe you should have took a fight in between, got yourself together before you step back in the square. Because you going in there for a immediate title shot just goes to show you that somebody probably told him, don't worry about it. They've gotten the orders. This time, it wasn't the two fighters that got the orders. It wasn't Rolando Romero. It wasn't Ismael Barroso. They was fighting. It was who I always say will definitely have influence on the fight for eternity. The third man in the ring, Tony Weeks. Tony Weeks up and stops the fight. And look, I'm gonna be honest, Barroso didn't seem like he was in any type of danger. He didn't seem like he was fighting for his life at the moment. They was having a bang out session. Like, I mean, hammers was being thrown from both sides. It didn't look like that Kenneth Sims and Akhmedov fight. It didn't look like they was just connecting and touching each other and punches was landing on a consistent basis. We didn't get that action before Tony Weeks stopped the mother fight. I'm disappointed in you, Tony. disappointed, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Did you think this fight should have been stopped? From ours.
It was right on. It was a little clip.
It's a tough position for you to assess what the referee is doing, so I really can't put you in that position. But
he wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep going as well.
So what happens here next? You lost to Tank. You now move up to 140. You gain a championship.
Well, like I said, there's only 2 fights I want. There's either, obviously the rematch with Tank, but I think there's a much bigger option. I want to go after Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia 140 for pay-per-view. Let's do this shit on Showtime. Let's get that shit happening.
Well, there you go. Bingo. Boxing will always be the hocus pocus of combat sports. You know what I'm saying? It's just too obvious situations that take place in front of us that we know ain't right. And it's not even all about shaking your head no more. It's just moments where you just sit there and you just stare and you say, hold up. And then you hit the rewind. You say, hold up. Let me see if this was any real shots being landed. Hold on. Let me hit this rewind right quick. Replay this. Nothing. No, nothing serious. Nothing serious. Okay. All right. And then you start to get, frustration sets in. Then you're like, God damn it, boxing did it to us again. Like 23's been struggling anyway. This year's been struggling with boxing a little bit anyway. But we had the David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. Then, we turned around and have the Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. What we did get, was we did see a banger between Akhmedov and Kenneth Sims, which in my opinion was the fight of the night. You know what I'm saying? Fight of the night. Shout out to Kenneth Sims, man. Salute to you. Get all the credit in the world for winning that fight. Get all the fight in the world. Get all the credit in the world for winning that fight. That was the fight of the night. I don't care who you were signed to. That right there was the fight of the night. And has a good chance of being one of those, according to who's looking at it, that could be potentially one of the fight of the year candidates. Because those dudes is banging out. I'm not gonna lie to you. But when it comes to Rolando Romero is a nice guy, but boxing doesn't have to do it nice when you critiquing somebody. And a lot of these boxers don't like for us on the outside to critique them. We don't have to compete in the sport, just like your trainers don't have to compete in the sport to train you. They critique you. They criticize you. You know what I'm saying? They criticize you. So the only thing I'm saying, Rolando, I respect the fact that you said both of y'all wanted to go on. I respect the fact. But that's 2 fights. Your Jackson Marinez, you picked up the belt controversially. You was being outworked. And clearly, WCS will tell you that I feel you lost the fight. And then to this right here, with Ismael Barroso, in my opinion, the fight would have been very, very interesting moving past the round where he was stopped. You know what I'm saying? I think it would have been very, very interesting. I'm gonna tell you why.
All right.
Hold on, let me get past this. Let me show y'all right quick. Hit the like button if you're in the building. I'm about to get to the chat. Elijah on deck. What's good? Elijah said Roller was never right out the Tank. Is Tank changing these fighters? Shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw. In the morning, in the AM, man. Salute to Team Tucker in the building. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Salute to you, Bruce. What's good with it, OG? How you feeling this morning? Pop on deck, man. Come back, what it do? Yes, in the building. Top of the morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day, all to mothers, grandmothers of the world. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. Yeah, 1,002 days since the Jackson Marinas fight, where Rolly was gifted the WBA interim, and now he is the current reigning, defending WBA super lightweight world champion. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Check this out though. Check this out. I want to go over something. Rolly, on all the judges' scorecards, right? This was stopped in the 9th. Okay. So mostly on all the judges' scorecards, except Steve Weisfeld, he's pretty experienced, if you know what I mean. 2 judges had Rolando Romero losing the first round. Okay. But Steve Weisfeld had him winning the first round. Then we go to the second round. It's a 9 across the board for Rolando Romero losing the second round. And then you say it's a hocus pocus. It's gonna freaking rear his ugly face again. The third, it was a knockdown. 8s across the board by all 3 judges. 8s across the board. And then you have Tim Cheatham, who scored the 4th round for Rolando Romero. And then the other 2 judges, David Sutherland and Steve Weisfeld, scored it for Barroso. Right? So he's looking good right now. Okay, you go to the 5th round. All the judges scored it a 9 for Rolando Romero. Across the board. Across the board. All right? Then the 6th round gets a little interesting when Tim Cheatham and David Sutherland scored it a 10 for Rolando Romero, and Steve Weisfeld a 9 for Romero. All right. And then you have the confusion. In the 7th, Tim Cheatham scores it a 10, scores the round for Rolando with a 10, 10 for David Sutherland, and then Steve Weisfeld a 9. That is the 6th and the 7th round. Let me see. The 5th and the 6th round, Steve Weisfeld scored it a 9. All right. In the 7th round, he scored it a 9. Now, matter of fact, all 3 judges scored it a 10 for Rolando Romero. All right. In the 7th round. In the 8th round, Cheatham and Sutherland scored it a 10. Steve Weisfeld 9. It's quite confusion. It's always going to be quite the confusion when you look at how the judges, how many fights they're actually judged and what controversy came from that. How do you become educated as a boxing judge? I don't know. But peep this out. Let me show you myself. Let me show you myself once I pull this up. And you can take a gander with that yourself. The judges, weren't too consistent except when the knockdown occurred in the 3rd round. But Rolando was in trouble. Barroso didn't seem like that he was about to, just wither away and disappear. That fight would have became very interesting for Rolando Romero. And I think he would have suffered possibly another freaking knockdown later on in the fight if it would have went to full 12. For real. That man could have potentially lost on the scorecards, but yet they gave him the fight anyway. Mr. Pass on that. Peace W says it was a disgrace for multiple reasons. Do we really, hey Pass, do we really say boxing is a disgrace anymore after what we done seen? It's becoming a normal scene of the crime, man. It's becoming very, very normal right now with screwing people over. It's becoming a norm, looking at how the referees score the rounds, how inconsistent they are. But most important, I want y'all to understand that sometimes you go into fights like this talking about what a fighter going to do to one another. You need to think about the third man in the ring and what he's going to do to either fighter. It's according to which one they're trying to move, which one is connected, which one is in place to continue in the chase. Rolando Romero continues in the chase. Why? Because he is now a world champion. Also, he might not have had got the reception that he wanted. You know what I'm saying? He would never get the reception that he wanted. But we've seen more controversial decisions than the Rolando Romero. It too shall pass. But we all know where this is going. If him and Ryan Garcia or him and Gervonta Davis rematch, Rolando Romero is going to get a big payday. He's going to stay in boxing for a little bit longer, but he's going to be living pretty good off this next payday he's getting. He's not taking no cheap fight in between. His next fight is going to be a big fight, like he said, on pay-per-view. And he don't care what anybody think. Real talk. Rolly, in my opinion, he don't care what nobody think about him. Rolly's cut different, man. He's different. Like I said, Rolly, if it was people over there trying to lift the freaking Volkswagen, Rolly would go over there and try it. He actually believes he can lift the Volkswagen. Even though you got power lifters that can't do it, Rolly might go over there and say, I don't have to be a power lifter to do it. I can lift that Volkswagen myself. You know, it's some screws that's not locked down enough in certain areas. But Tony Weeks, bro, I knew something was janky. I knew it, people. I knew something was janky. I say, man, I'm thinking the whole time I'm thinking the Jackson Marinez fight. I say, where is it gonna happen? Where is it gonna happen? Where's this shit gonna happen, bro? I know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. Where's it gonna happen? Where's it gonna happen? And then it came and showed his face. Tony Weeks showed up and waved the fight off, and I'm like, huh? What? What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about, Tony? I got mad respect for you, bro. But damn, that just goes to show you, man. The third man in the ring, he doesn't have to be a magician. He doesn't, man. He's not going to show you any magic. He get the orders carried out or else, man. I'm telling you, this is not the first time we've seen something happen like this. I remember sitting back watching my favorite referee, Lawrence Cole. Yep, the same one who was in there with Udenis Ugas. And we was looking at Kasunari Takayama. Y'all remember that fight, right? Y'all remember that fight? Edwin Soto, who was 18-1, and Kasunari Takayama, 32-8. Yeah, I said 32-8. And Soto was having his moments in there, but Takayama, he wasn't looking the worse for wear. It was a very competitive fight at the World Light Fly division, right? And being that Canelo Alvarez was the main event with Billy Joe Saunders, and it was late, all of a sudden, Lawrence Cole stops the fight doing an exchange, and it was nobody that was hurt. Edwin Soto's like saying to himself, like, damn, I didn't hurt him with nothing. He probably saying to himself. And then Takayama's like, dude, what are you doing? And Lawrence just waved him off, talking about, no, go. You know what? We got to get to this main event. It's too late. We need to get this main event. We need to bring out Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders. Work your way up to that level, and then you will see me do the same thing for you. But he stopped the fight. Lawrence Cole stopped the fight, bro. This is no different. But this had a title. You know what I'm saying? That meant something. Just like when he stopped the fight with Edwin Soto. This was more so to get the main event on deck. But it was both title fights. These referees are having influence in title fights, and they treat them like it's any other fight. They have no shame. They have no shame in stopping fights for these boxers to sacrifice the shit out of themselves, take damage, all that. Fight camps after fight camps, man, they don't care, man. They are pretty much carrying out orders that they have to keep jobs, continue to get these big fights. You know what I'm saying? Tony Weeks, man, I really never had too much controversy with him, but last night that was controversial. I'm not gonna lie, that was controversial there, Tony. Shaw News say it's crazy, the boxing industry. He is a legit WBA world champion now, only in boxing. He is legit, man. He is absolutely a boxing champion. You can't take that away. Rolando Romero, as we speak on this Mother's Day, on this Sunday, he is a world champion. Can you believe it? Yeah, you better. You better believe it. Bro, even the stoppage. He said Barroso was game. I slept on him, in my opinion. He was winning the fight. I did too. I have to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I slept on Barroso's, even though, you know, I knew I've came across dudes that look old. I've seen dudes, you know, when I was over there in Mexico looking at those fights, I seen dudes look the worst for wear of their age. It's just because they've been out in the sun a lot, working their ass off and shit. But they was actually pretty young guys, and they can bang out, man. They can fight. Barroso showed us that he was that guy yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no apologies. I mean, he does look like he's 66 and a half years old. For real. He look like he can be my uncle. I mean, my grandpa. Shit. You know, but that don't take away nothing he can fight. I mean, he was up there giving Rolly the business. But yet, it all comes back full circle when I look at situations like this, which is full of controversy, right? No doubt about it. This is full of controversy. But yet they want to talk about other fights and give more energy to other fights that haven't even happened. Situations like this deserves all the malicious, you know what I'm saying, the belligerency that you can come up with, because it's deserving. This is the second fight that Rolly's been a part of that's full of controversy. And they was both title fights. But you can't really hate the one that's in the sport. You got to hate the sport itself, because the sport itself is the one that's allowing situations like this to play out, and no one can do nothing about it. They're not going to review this. They're not going to say it was controversy by freaking Tony Weeks. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to review this. They're not going to petition to Tony Weeks for him to be reviewed to see if he's competent enough to be a ref. No, they're not going to do that. Bill Bootcamp, what's good with it, fam? How you feeling? Toby on deck, man. Salute from across the pond. Yes, sir. Global all day today on Mother's Day. You already know. Salute WCS in the chat. We global, baby. We're global. You already know what it is, man. It's always good to know that we are linked up, connected. Sir Ken on deck. WCS, salute to the wrenches, and salute to the chat. Smash the like. No doubt, Sir Ken. Hopefully all has been well with you. No doubt about it. Samar Warren, peace and blessings. Beloved, salute WCS. None of these shots Rolly threw before the stoppage even landed. There's no way that incompetence, corruptions, clear as day. Man, none of them had any effect, rather. Did anything to Rolly to cause us to think that he was in trouble, right? No, I mean, Barroso led us to believe that he was in trouble. None of them. None of them, bro. That's what it just irks the heck out of me, man. That some of these big fights that people are expecting, I wonder if we do get the fight, is it going to be embroiled in controversy just so a one fighter can continue to, you know, move the needle going forward or something like that. I don't know, bro. They don't want to end his career. And you know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's just stupid, man. Devin will destroy Rolly in 5. Elijah, the only thing I'll say about that is that would be a totally different fight, because one thing that Rolly was concerned about, Elijah, was Barroso's power. Now you have to take the mindset of someone who's unconcerned about someone's power going into a fight and a boxer that is. They're going to approach both scenarios different. They're going to approach them differently. It's going to be a different fighting style from Rolly. But either way, I got to stay on topic, man. This is BS. This is BS, man. This is BS, bro. And you can't blame Rolly. You can't blame Rolly, bro. You cannot blame Rolly for this. Rolly was the fighter. He was going through it bad. And he was going through it bad. He was looking real sketchy on the scorecards. He was going through it bad. And I don't think it wouldn't have got better as the fight went on. But here to save the day, Tony Weeks. Bing, 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 the bong, 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 the bing, 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 the bong, bong, bong. Fight is over, people. KO win. And new WBA super lightweight world champion Rolando Romero. Yeah, we heard that all before, man. Imagine that. They're giving the layup to Ryan Garcia to get the first title to stay relevant. The sport of boxing is the WWE, aka scripted. These boxers, mostly PBC side, are actors on the storyline. Look, it provides some time too to kind of move the pieces in place. You move the make the correct moves on the chessboard for this money. Because if he fights Gervonta Davis or Ryan Garcia, he's gonna make some good money, and people are gonna come to see it. I'm telling you, people are gonna come to see this fight, man. How and what happened to Rolly for him to come out and be as hesitant as he was to fire? This man wasn't doing nothing. It's almost like he purposely wanted to look like crap in this fight because he already knew what the outcome was. You know what I'm saying? I like I said, I can't put that tag on him. Like Dion said, I can't put that pistol on Rolly. But when it comes down to him and his inactivity, his minimal output, it's almost like when you go in there and say, hey, man, try not to take much damage, this, that, and the other. And, you are in there with an active body, and that active body closed distance and landed the shot to knock you down, which made it even more intense to think, can Rolly pull this off? And for a good minute or 2 or 3 or 4, I didn't think Rolly was going to win that until Tony stepped in. I say, there you go. That's what I was looking for. I knew there had to be a moment where someone other than the two boxers changed or influenced the outcome. The third man in the ring, I swear to God, man. W says, imagine if they made O'Hara, Vitas, and Rolly, they'll label it the battle of the short bus riders. I saw that fight being talked about recently. They talk about a lot of fights, but if it don't make sense, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the money aspect, they're not gonna, I mean, like, are they really trying to have Rolly go on a freaking title defense run? Or did they get him that belt so they can have another title shot to insert Ryan Garcia, which is the biggest name, the bigger name between him and Romero, into the picture to kind of mix it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because if Ryan Garcia goes up there and get that belt, then potentially Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez may face each other. Because I said this already. I said if Teo beats Josh Taylor, the easiest route that he can take as far as coming undisputed is that the titles will have to be in the same position. It have to be more than one title in the position of a champion, in the possession rather, not position, in the possession of a champion. So if by chance Matchroom signing Subriel Matias and Regis Prograis, we might have a unification right there. And then depending on how it works, you have Tio fight whoever's the WBA champion at the time, Rolando Romero or Ryan Garcia. Now it would take us back to the Jose Ramirez, and Josh Taylor scenario, where both champions fight for undisputed with two titles in their possession. But I'm just talking, man. They pistol whipped Barroso last night. Yeah, they did. They pistol whipped the hell out of his ass, boy. Top Rank was across the street last night, huh? Hey, man. There was a lot of stuff that was going on. It just reminds me that it won't stop, can't stop. You know, boxing always going to be in a place where there's going to be people making money off the sport. It's always going to be like that. It's always going to be people making money off the sport, bro. It's just unfortunate we have to see the money play out so obvious. Like, it's so obvious what we was looking at. We knew that something was pending. Something's fishy. Something's funny with this fight. But, I mean, Rolly's not even throwing that many punches. It's almost like he's still reeling from Gervonta Davis knockout. But yet and still, that's not what he's talking. The way he's talking is like, I've matured since then, this, that, and the other. He came out here barely even throwing a freaking punch. And then Shaw News put a video out there where, you know, his trainer Bullet was confronted by a member of Team Barroso, and she straight up pulled up on Bullet and told him what she thought and called him a bitch. Now, I always say a woman should know her place, man. Like, it's easy for you to talk that talk in a group of people, but I ain't gonna lie, man. A lot of women today have so much comfort in calling a man a bitch to their face. You know what I'm saying? You hear it too much than often. But last night, you walk up to a guy who's certified, like one-on-one, you and him, you're not beating his ass. But I can understand that she was feeling some type of way about her fighter losing that fight in controversy. But she went to the wrong person, though. Bullet is not the one who had the proven authority and set all the freaking plays in motion. That wasn't Bullet. Why would you get mad at a team for what Tony Weeks did? That makes absolutely no sense, man. You getting mad at something that Tony Weeks did. Bullet didn't have nothing to do with that. He had absolutely nothing to do with that. And females just getting involved and calling a man a bitch, man. I totally disagree with that type of action at the end of the day. Because, you know, you always have another woman. This is true words, people. That's unfortunate, but you will always have another woman who understands that woman that she's defending was absolutely wrong, but they will step in and defend it when it's against another man. You're a man. Oh, you're a man. What about her being a lady? Act like a lady. Why are you challenging a man that will knock your ass clean the fuck out? Why are you challenging a man and not Tony Weeks? You're challenging a man that trained the fighter that picked up the belt. Rolly didn't stop the fight and say, okay, I'm the winner. Let's go. Jim Gray, come on in. Let's go. Hurry and get this over with. No, that's not how the process works, bro. But this woman came up and approached him and you know, called him all sorts of names and called him a bitch and all that. I'm like, damn, women, that's not for you. That's not ladylike. And then time you see one of them laid out, people want to get together and plot and scheme. Oh my God, he put hands on a woman. But what happened? You know what I'm saying? I know it's a little bit off subject, but it deals with what happened after the fight. Bullet didn't have anything to do with Romero's decision. All he was doing was giving instructions, bro. Shout out to Town Business and Sports Entertainment. What's good with it, Towns? He said, what I saw yesterday was a travesty. It was, man. It was just unfortunate that we need this in the midst of what's already going on. You know what I'm saying? We already, trying to be patient enough to see if the fight we really want is happening. But then again, we get situations like this that basically overwhelms the Kenneth Sims and Akhmedov performance. It dilutes it. It puts a canopy, it puts a canopy over the glory that we should be praising on a hell of a fight. That was a hell of a fight last night. But we're up here talking about Romero once again getting a decision. I mean, getting a gift. The first one was a decision gift, and this one they say no, we ain't letting it go to the scorecards. Boom, let's get it up out of here. He's 40 years old. He's an older guy. Perfect. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you, big dog. Yeah, man. I agree, man. You know what I'm saying? 66 and a half, and grandpa was out there cracking it. You know what I'm saying? For real. He totally, man, that dude, like I said before, he probably worked and he was out there doing what he's supposed to do. He looked that way, but he was cracking a younger Romero. Real talk. Romero was like 27 years old, right? And he talking about, oh, I knew the guy can crack. Man, you knew Tank can crack, but you didn't give him that much respect at all, especially in the first 5 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like you was pressing forward. You was pressing, man. You was moving forward with Tank. And then you get a guy who's freaking 40 years old, man. And you gave him mad respect, and he don't have a highlight reel like Tank. I guess Roller would be able to buy his mom that house he promised her. Now he's a champion, but at what cost to the sport of boxing? Man, boxers count their money, and they can care less what we think about them. They can care less what the heck we think, Toby. They don't care what we think. When he get that check, that's all that matters, man. That's all that matters. Boxing is such a dysfunctional relationship. The violence goes both physically and psychologically. It will always be that way. If you want to stay close and you want to walk hand in hand with the sport of boxing, you go right ahead. But understand, people who do that become desensitized. They overlook things that should be, that should warrant the most energy, should warrant the most correction. They desensitized to that. We've seen that before, man. Get in line. You choose to cover the sport. You act like you ain't seen this before, man. Stop whining. Stop bitching. If you don't want to cover boxing, man, after knowing what you know for covering so long, man, stop covering it. That's their mentality. They're desensitized to these robberies, corruption, fixed fights. You know what I'm saying? This been going on forever, bro. This been going on forever. That stoppage was crazy. That's why you got flip on the refs for this reason, to let them know that they cheating. See, the referee's gonna look at it like, I know who I have to answer to, and it ain't you. That's how them refs. That's how their mentality is. They don't have to answer to us. They know what they're doing. Why would a sane human being that's watching, that's been a part of several dozen big fights in their career and lifetime as a boxing judge, professional referee, right? How can they naturally look at a fight where he has the most zoomed in view, up close and personal, of what the action is like, and you don't see any serious punches hitting this dude, and you choose to step in and stop the fight based off something that you didn't see? You got the experience to make the right call. Nothing's hurting this guy, Barroso. Nothing that cause you to be alarmed. Nothing to say, oh man, this guy's in serious. This dude's in a serious situation right here. It doesn't look good. You're close enough to make that decision. This is not your first rodeo, but you decide to come out and stop the fight, and you're not getting those adversities that you're used to seeing in the fight that you actually stopped. It needed to be that way. You know what I'm saying? You needed to stop it because it was going to endanger the life of the fighter. You didn't get that last night. You didn't even come close. I like Tony too, man. But that fight right there, that was nonsense, man. That was BS. The stoppage of that fight was BS, bro. On another note, the Sims fight versus Very Good and the Janabek fight was interesting for the 2 rounds that lasted. And Maloney fight wasn't the most entertaining, in my opinion, but fair play. Yeah, the Maloney twins, man, they're tough fighters. They love the Maloney twins. That's why they keep hanging around for title fights, man. And you think for 1 second, Paz? You think for 1 second when Inoue vacated those titles, it wasn't going to be a Maloney brother up there fighting for one? Absolutely. They love the Maloney twins, man. They love it. They love them 2 guys, man. What's going on? Knockdown 305 in the building, man. What's good with it? This is an effect of the weather in May. Now put these words together and see what you come up. From what I understand, Ken, he's not signed to Mayweather no more. From what I understand, he's not signed to Mayweather no more. Supposedly, Rolando Romero's not signed to Mayweather no more. I talked about it on my live, like, he's not signed to Mayweather no more. Because I was assuming that Mayweather was able to provide the GPS coordinates for 140 pound division to get him that title shot. I thought it was all Mayweather who was pretty much piloting that, but it wasn't. From my understanding, I don't know. I don't want to guess, but that's what I heard. He's no longer signed to Mayweather. This is an effect of the weather. Let me see. Rolly should be sponsored by Bomb Equipment. Oh man, y'all saying the man a bum? Dang. And it was a point of time where I say, man, respect. Don't call these fighters a bum. But the fighters call one another a bum. So it's hard for me to not correct them and say, why? Don't get mad at me if a fighter is called a bum when y'all call each other a bum, and don't try to put in between it like, oh, we actually fight. We actually know who's who. We actually put in the sacrifice. No, your words, though. Your words, y'all call each other a bum. Emotions run high. She was an emotional female. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Calling a man a bitch like that, it's not ladylike, bro. And then if the taste gets slapped out of the mouth, people be trying to say, oh man, look what happened to Jonathan Majors, man. Now they're recasting him in roles after they don't sit up here and damn near counsel that man. They damn near counsel that man over a female. But now it's coming out and certain things aren't adding up. You know what I'm saying? Now they recasting him in the Marvel comics. Now they bringing him back. But look, he's learned how Hollywood truly is. You taught Jonathan Majors something. Just like that female, her walking up on a man with all these people around calling him a bitch. I'm like, dude, somebody get their lady. Like, it's too. I hear females too often call men bitches all the time, and dudes this day and time they think it's funny. Oh, she's just so sexy. Oh man, my baby love me calling me a bitch and gay and a whole ass nigga. Oh, that's it. No, that's not cool, bro. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. No, I haven't. I haven't interviewed Tony. I have interviewed Jack Reese. I like Jack Reese, up to that point, but Jack Reese received the orders. All I have to say, it don't matter if I interviewed him or not, in my opinion. Like, I like Jack Reese. Up to that point, he gave a long count and tried to justify it by the spirit of the sport. Man, get out of here. Go steal a purse or something at Showtime. Man, go snatch a purse. Get out of here. Shout out to True Media Today, USA Boxing, Coach Malachi on deck, man. What's good with it, Coach? Boxing is WWE at its finest. I'm not gonna lie, Coach, man. WWE is entertaining, man. At least the crowd is cheering. You know what I'm saying? The crowd is cheering. They booing for who they supposed to boo. You know what I'm saying? When they turn heel over there, they boo who they supposed to boo. And then, you know, the match looks way better in person, but the entertainment value, you know, you have people in the audience with signs and all that, and they be loud, man. The people be loud, much better than the boxing crowd. Boxing crowd be on their phone and they just waiting. Anything happen? Okay, I'm gonna go up here and get me another bag of popcorn. Do you want some beer? Anything? Drink? 2-3 shots? What? Man, this main event. Where we at right now on the undercard? That's how it is. But WWE, man, it's entertainment, bro. He wasn't defenseless hurt. Nothing that was sad. It was nothing going on with him, man. It was disgraceful, bro. But should we use the word disgraceful when it comes to boxing? We've seen it all before. We've seen it all before, though. I don't know what's on pen and paper with these fighters, but Mayweather's promotion was written on that bill. I mean, I don't know. I'm just going off what the questions I was asking when I heard the news that he was going up to 140 for a title shot. I heard that Mayweather, he wasn't signed to Mayweather at the time. If somebody want to check that out, go ahead, check behind me, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I thought Mayweather had basically set that in play also, Ken. But, you know, when I asked the question and I was told several times that he's not signed to Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? That's what I heard. He's not signed to Mayweather. But, I mean, just like anything, does that mean Mayweather doesn't have any influence on it? No, it doesn't. Bullet would have slapped her. That's my God, the Caribbean. They don't play that disrespect from a woman. I know, right? And they would have been looking at Showtime. They would have been looking at Bullet like he was absolutely wrong. But it's just like I tell people. People whisper the N-word under their breath. And people go berserk and want to freaking lay hands on them. But yet when you get in the court of law, they'll sit up there and tell you, they'll sit up there and ask you the simple question. I just want to ask you this. At one point in time, did you feel threatened? Let's, for example, say, what did you do when the defendant hit you? Oh, they never hit me. What did you do when the defendant picked up an object and threw it at you? And somehow you had to avoid it. You felt like no, that never happened. So you, based off the words that you heard the defendant call you a name, you said, oh, that did it. That was worse than physically being harmed. Yes, indeed. Okay. Isn't that going to work out good for you? Monty King Boxing on deck. What's good with it, Ron? How you feeling? Yeah, early morning, man. Yes, sir. Yeah. I think Bully does train mixed martial artists too. Overall, from what I know about him, before he joined this playground right here, you know, he was certified. That's all I'm saying. He was certified. Bully ain't no punk. Bullet ain't no punk. Just because he has a raspy voice, them hands that goddamn make you.
Hey, I apologize, sir. I apologize. I didn't mean to step you the wrong way, Bullet. I ain't mean it.
And that would have been the female. That female would have been sounding like that.
I apologize, sir. I call you a bitch. I'm sorry. I take that shit back. I take that back. Hey, am I free to leave? All right, thank you, Bully. Thank you.
Hey, man, I gotta go, man. You know it's Mother's Day. I gotta go take care of some business, man. It's a pleasure chopping it up, man. But I'm not even gonna lie to you. I might not be back on. If I do, it'll be later today. But I got to get right. Y'all hold it down. Appreciate you. Everyone who tuned in, pulled up. Appreciate you. This ain't the last of us talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Even though we got a big fight coming up next week, which that's gonna, you know what I'm saying? You really don't want to carry forward. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to carry forward the negativity on this fight that's coming up between Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko. You don't want to carry over negative energy that has nothing to do with that fight. But when it comes to boxing, it seems so easy to do, right? It seems so easy to just say, "Oh man, I'm feeling some type of way. I'm gonna be feeling that way the whole week, and I'm gonna go into this final week with feeling some type of way about what I just witnessed." And Rolly's not even considered one of the big names on the level of Lomachenko or Haney, but it's just the fact on how it ended. Whether it was all about morals and principles, it'll never be that. Because when a person's job is on the line and they're giving the orders, man, they're going to carry out what gets them paid, what brings, food to the table, all that. Lost all the boxing on deck. What's good? Salute to you. Shout out to Martin Kings. Hey, much appreciated. $2 super sticker in the building. I appreciate you there, Ron. Thanks for donating to the channel, brother. One love to you. D-Ray Promotions on deck. What's good? Salute. But I got to bounce, y'all. I'm out.